your enemy.
Hello.
Hey Sherin,
Hai
apa
Adi.
kabar?
Saya banyak bagus. So sekarang is ketupat edition. Raya edition bukan. Oh, sate edition.
Selamat Hari Raya.
Itulah. Hello everyone. Welcome back to HR Intervention, and we are on season 4, episode 4 already. So
Yes.
fast. And well, we wish, Ajit and I wish it's not too late to wish all our viewers a Selamat Hari Raya, Idul Fitri, and Maaf Zahir and Batin. We hope this festive Hari Raya brought you so much of joy, togetherness, and of course, all those delicious ketupat, rendang, satay. What else? Lemang. Oh my God! I think I'll be eating and eating and eating. And of course, I look forward to the many clients open houses this year too. So, what about you, Ajit? Besides the open house that we bumped into each other yesterday, where you were hiding,
My
what
chance.
didn't know because the phone lines were not working there. How many more open houses do you have?
Two more to go, done about 3. So this year is like open house non-stop. On Raya itself, there was 2 wonderful open houses I attended. So
Nice.
this year, I think I'm a little blessed, quite a number of open houses. Eat and eat and eat. You're right, Sherin. Ketupat, lemang, you name it, never ending. The rendangs and whatnot. Wow, delicious. But I think that's the speciality of our Raya. It's very different than other parts of the world because we do it
Yeah,
very differently.
correct. I was just talking to someone yesterday, and they say all the family and friends already over now. All the corporate ones open up,
Yeah.
and you like hotcakes had 3 open houses yesterday.
Yes, 3 back to back non-stop.
I should just followed you. I'll be eating satay after satay after satay, and all the satays will be finished because of me. Anyway, back to our session today with an exciting topic.
Topic.
Actually, I'm
Yes.
very excited. The topic today is Agile HRBP, responding to market disruptions and flexibility and innovation. So there's so much for us to learn today, and I can't wait to bring in our fabulous speaker because he's got tons of insights to share. But first of all, Ajit, would you like to introduce a little bit about our show, especially for those new faces that are tuning in? In fact, nobody's saying hi to us yet today. Why?
Yes, haven't started yet. I think people
Got
are
so
still
many people
warming.
already online.
People are still warming up. All are still munching their lunches and their ketupats. For those out there who are viewing our show, please put in some comments. Say where you are from. Say what you are doing, having your lunch, or what lunch are you having, and also do share if you attended any open houses or things like that. Okay, before we move on, Selamat Hari Raya, everybody. My name is Ajit. Hope that you guys are having a fantastic day today. A little bit about our show. For those who are a little bit new to our show, we are known as HR Intervents, commonly known as hashtag HRTV. It's an online talk show brought to you by Compass Mind Asia, a renowned corporate training provider globally. In our previous episodes, we have engaged in various discussions covering various topics related to HR and career development. Okay. In our past sessions, we have dwelled into fantastic topics such as performance management, burnout, stress management, and many, many, many more topics. In case if you have missed out any of our episodes, and if you're wondering where you can find them, you can always go to Shireen's YouTube channel. It's called Shireen Calais to watch all our recorded channels. And the link is actually displayed at our screen as we go on today.
All right. Wow. But guys, you can go and look at all the previous YouTubes of all the wonderful recordings of the previous speakers. But don't do it now, please, because we
Yes.
are all ready to start our show. But
Now
now,
ask us question.
yeah, ask us any questions. We'll be able to answer. We will try to answer. Not we'll be able to answer. Suddenly, some out of the world question come out. Now, before you wonder whether you're in the right place or not, I want to say yes, yes, you are definitely in the right place. And if you're wondering who the show is for, it is for those who are rocking the managing director hats, navigating the C-suite, steering the ship as a business owner, or just embarking on a journey of job hunting and fresh graduate life, which is always so fun. And of course, a special shout out to all our HR friends, HRBPs, HR managers, all of you L&D comrades, all of you in the HR area. You are definitely in for a treat with our speaker for today. And well, I want to say hello to Nurhana. Hi, Nurhana. Wow,
Hi,
she already
Hannah.
knows who the speaker is. Nurhana, very smart.
Yes.
Like, you must be one of his friends, Nurhana. Welcome, Gan, welcome. Good afternoon. Hi, Ken. Hi, Nurhana. Same here. Looking for a giveaway again. Thank you, Ken. All right. So, as always, we would love to know who's here. So, if you're still there, if you haven't said hi like the rest, like Ken and Nurhana and Gan, please let us know. Just say a hi, where you're from, and like Ajit say, what are you having for lunch, or which open houses have you been? We want to know because we also craving for more food. Although we've been eating so much and put on so much, but we're still happy. So drop us a hello or even an emoji and let's interact. Let us know who you are, where you're from, and where you're tuning in. Okay. So Ajit, over to you back again.
Okay, my name is Ajit. I am one of HR practitioners. So today edition is actually you literally know who the speaker is by reading all the comments. We have another comment saying hi to Daryl already. Hold your horses. He'll be coming in a while. And speaking about Hari Raya. So please do share what you have done, where we have whatever you have, whatever open houses that you have came into. Okay, speaking about togetherness, today's episode will be focusing a little bit about focusing on importance of partnership. Okay, but like how Hari Raya is very important for us, so we collaborate. In office, we collaborate using a concept called HR business partnering. Okay, without wasting any more time, let's talk a little bit about business partnering. Shireen, you want to introduce a little bit about our topic today?
Of course, of course. But first of all, I think before we go further into a topic, I would like to invite the person who will be introducing us to the full topic for today. So, a little bit about the person, our speaker, like many of you, has given away. Darren Lowe is a HR professional with more than 15 years of working experience in multinational and local companies. He's covered various industries such as industrial, banking, market expansion services, healthcare, telecommunication, as well as oil and gas. Real diverse experience and background that he will bring to us today. So today he is the head of HR business partnering for Sime Darby Industrial Sdn Berhad. He's a member of the MIHRM, Malaysian Institute of Human Resource Management, and also MAPS, Malaysia Association of Professional Speakers. Darren trains also on leadership, negotiation, recruitment, performance management, EQ, and also personal effectiveness. He's so passionate in developing human capital. That's really his passion. He enjoys learning and keeping himself abreast of the latest technologies and trends, especially those related to the HR fraternity, such as things like Ajit is also expert in AI automation and quite a lot around that digital area. So without further ado, please put your
Right.
hearts, of course, hearts in Facebook or wherever you're tuning in, LinkedIn. Put your hearts and thumbs up together to help me welcome Darren Lowe. Woo!
Yay. Welcome,
Well,
Darren. Welcome, and thank you for joining us. It's a true honor to have you with us. How are you doing today?
Great. Looking forward to the session.
Oh, okay, good. We are eager to learn more about your topic today. Why not share a little detail about yourself? Probably something that people perhaps who do not know, maybe like your hobbies and things like that.
Hey, I guess in case somebody do not know, I'm one of those rare people who actually studied HR in my degree, and I do HR throughout my whole entire 15 years of career now. I'm not as young as I look. A lot of people think that I'm in my late 20s, but I'm much older than that.
really? I'm shocked. Okay, I'm joking. Are there any hobbies?
Well, hobbies. I like to read nowadays. I'm reading more. So yeah, I would say that is my hobby.
Okay,
Cycling,
thank you.
hiking, no?
Soon. Let me read the books first.
Okay.
You don't ask Shireen. Shireen will tell you stop reading and do hiking.
Stop reading, go hiking, eating, swimming, traveling, everything lah.
You know how that's why I'm saying I read the books first before she dragged me over.
Before she drag you.
Cool. All right.
Okay, thank you for the introduction, and welcome again. Before we move on, allow me to elaborate a little bit about the topic. Today we're talking about HR business partner. It is designed. It is actually it's designed to bridge the gaps between HR and also the core business. Okay, ensuring that HR strategies and practices are closely aligned with business practices. That is what HR business partners is all about. They focus on business objective. The role is not only about implementing HR policies across the organization, it is also understanding the challenges and also leveraging on opportunities to grow business further. HR expertise will come very strongly from HR business partner by them designing solutions to ensure that organization is performing at its optimum output. So that is generally what HR business partners do, and they play a critical role in ensuring that business move on, not only move on, but also businesses grow as they go along operating in the day-to-day businesses. Throughout this session, we are going to uncover some pivotal roles of HR business partners and discover fundamental role of what HR business partner is driving in organization, mostly focusing on resilience and making sure it becomes a competitive organization. Okay. Without further ado, let's begin our topic today. Shireen, over to you for our first question.
Yeah, actually, I have the first question, but let me say hi to Eileen and let me address Ken's first question. Darren, Ken has asked, which is your latest book that you've read?
Okay. Actually, I'm reading a few books right now, right? So the latest book is called "Stop Talking, Start Asking."
Oh,
So
Interesting.
it's essentially it's about coaching, right? I mean, we get answer by asking questions. I mean, which is something I practice in my work as well, right? Instead of just giving the answers away to people who ask me, right, or the team member. So I would rather ask back, okay, what do you suggest? What do you think? And let them share, and we refine from there. Yeah.
nice. But Darren, one book I suggest you don't read is How to Win Friends and Influence People. You got too many friends already because standing in one place with you and you go, hi, 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 hello, hi. I cannot take it already. So don't read that book, okay? You might just have way too many followers already there. So anyway, back to my question. Okay, Darren, can you explain who HRBPs are and what distinguishes them from a HR role in an organization?
So first of all, thanks Ajit for sharing the academic explanation just now about HRBP. So based on my understanding or a bit of research I've done, right? I mean, I don't think there is probably a father of HRBP, but this HR business partner term probably was coined in the 90s, right? So in the past or even today, some of us again think that HR are probably the people pushers, the administrators, running the processes. So the idea was that to put HR in a more strategic front. So if I would put it in short, right? Again, let me quote CIPD, right? Chartered Institute of Personnel and Development, not me. So essentially, the main part about HR business partner, I believe, is the partnering, right? So we predominantly work very closely with the leader of the company and the people managers to drive people agenda, the planning part. That doesn't mean we don't do the job now, right? Not just planning, right? So, but most part of it is more like acting like an internal consultant. So we are the go-to person, where there's any issue or there's any planning to do. So we are the person they speak to.
All right. Thanks for that explanation. Ajit, you want to move on to the
Interesting. Yeah, I think that's rightfully put. We
Mm,
are HR business partners will always be the go-to person for any employee in the event if they have any questions at all. Sometimes they also go beyond HR matters. They go even related to personal matters. They still go to HR business partner. That makes the role really interesting. Thanks, Darren, for sharing that. Okay, let me move to our second question. What are the core responsibilities of HR business partner, and how do they contribute to organization resilience and competitiveness, especially during times of uncertainties, or there is market disruption? Maybe we could make reference to during a pandemic, how the business partners really play a critical role.
Answer your question in two parts, right? So the first part is, responsibility, core
Yeah.
responsibility. On top of what you can think of HR, I think a lot of times HR business partners should also carry the financial goals, like your revenue, your profit target, right? Because whatever action we do, right, because we are working in the business, uh, only the numbers can tell how good we are, right? So I think that's one. Again, it depends on your company. Maybe the focus of the year is to increase the market share, you want to increase productivity per employee, or you want to look into your professional planning, more talent development, make sure that you have a second layer, or even for some regulatory compliance. Right? So that's for core responsibilities. So to answer your question, yeah. So in the uncertain world today, use and whatnot, AI and I world today, I would say that yeah, say for example like COVID-19, right? I believe a lot of companies have changed overnight. So HR, was also involved. In fact, I would say we were suddenly put on the forefront of managing the crisis. So how we have to support the businesses, a lot of companies probably suddenly realize that their growth is probably unsustainable, or whatever target they set is not achievable, due to unforeseen circumstance. So, there was a lot more discussion about manpower planning part, prioritization. At least some organizations have to go to reorganization. And also on the technology front, suddenly we face this issue where we work from home, we have internet, we also have to meet regulatory. I mean, I remember those days I have to listen to all the announcement, the news about the latest guideline day to day, the communication officer. So yeah, so I would say we work very closely with the business during crisis. Yeah, so I think we have to be ever ready, and we have to be very well read and be informed about what's happening around, not just inside but also outside the company.
Darren,
Yes, Sherin, I have a question.
I have a
Yo,
question. I have a
yes.
statement. Darren, you need to come closer to the computer because it was a little bit choppy just now.
Okay, I'm so sorry. Is this better?
It
Yeah,
is
much better.
so good. I thought it was
Okay.
me then. Okay, so all right, now it's so much better. If you do get choppy, I put up my hand, then you know that you need to get closer, okay?
Okay.
Awesome lah. All right. So
COVID time was called choppy a bit lah. That's why.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I know what, Sherin. I know what. It's time for us to do a bit of Bhangra together.
Ayo,
Yeah.
Yay! Woo!
Darren, you know how to do Bhangra or not?
yeah. Change the light bulb, right? Okay.
Yes. And then you
Okay,
wash your clothes.
1, 2, 3. All of you together. Come on, Darren. I want to see
Hey!
your hands.
Ken also said, yes.
Okay.
All of you do
Yes.
it together.
Okay.
It's lunchtime, man.
Then you move up and down. Okay, now we are done. Okay, good. Round of applause. Yay.
All right, we did great.
Okay.
So
Sherin,
now
back
back
to you.
to
Yes.
the show.
Yeah.
Darren, thank you for the elaborate answer despite the choppy situation. But we understand it was COVID situation and there was disruption, so we need to make it real. So thanks for that. And well, I have another question. What are the HRBP initiatives in improving business and organizational development? In
Okay.
improving business and
So actually, organization development, or in short, OD, right, is, I would say, is quite a strategic part of HR. I think maybe sometimes some smaller or mid-sized, whether we realize it or not,
Darren,
we are doing it, right? Because OD is essentially talking about, your structure. Yeah. Am I too far again? Okay, better
your
now?
Yeah.
uh
Suddenly we lost you for a bit.
yeah,
Can you all hear me better now, or is it still choppy?
Yeah, now better.
it's good. Is your internet very stable? Because I mean, when we did the testing just now, it was perfect.
I think my internet should be stable.
Okay,
Maybe I just
all
come
right.
closer, or do I need to? Okay, let me just check my mic. All right, maybe I can
You are
increase
lagging a little bit as
the.
well.
Really?
Choppy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ken said
Yeah.
you're choppy. Just now,
Oh
did you do
no.
anything different? Because during the trial time, it was perfect.
No, I'm not. I didn't do anything different.
I think
Would
the
you want
internet
me
is
to?
lunch.
Okay. Would you want me to connect to my mobile data? Would that be better?
Uh no, we might lose you. You seem
Okay.
okay now. Let's continue. If it happens again, then you change to mobile data.
Yeah.
Let's
Sure.
continue.
Then we
Sorry
will
for
Sorry
the
about that.
we can do a question or to the audience. Then we can you
Yeah.
can log in again. No problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So let me just go back to the OD part, right? So yeah, like I said, essentially, I think a lot of us are doing it, just that maybe we don't realize it. We're talking about the structure, the layers. Whether you're a flat organization or you have many layers, right? So yeah, so that kind of thing. So how HRBP can contribute? I think a lot of times maybe we always put succession planning at the back seat until your talent or your critical position person incumbent resigns, then we panic, right? So HRBP can play the role to alert the business leader and say, look, that there is what do you call that risk of leaving for this person, right? And what you can do, that kind of thing. So other than that, I think today, like Ajit is very into technology, AI. So really about upskilling the people, right, to know what is coming. I mean, ChatGPT, came on board less than a year and already rocked the world. So things are moving really quickly. So HR need to drive that, I would say. Yeah. So, and of course, other than that, I think a lot of personal effectiveness skill on top of job specific training. Personal effectiveness, as in managing time, prioritization. I think all these can also contribute to OD. Yeah.
Okay.
Agreed. I would say that perfectly said, because OD is just not about one function. It's about linking it to many other disciplines, such as any new knowledge, new innovation in the market. Correct. I would agree. I would concur to that. Okay. Before we continue with the next question, we have a question for the audience. Okay, audience, get ready with our questions. What do you think HR business partners are vital to be looked into in organizations?
Why? Yes.
Yeah. Why do you think HR business partners are vital to be looked into in organizations? Okay, share your comments in section below, and if you have any questions or opinion to ask or to share, feel free to post them in our chat. We would address your questions as well as we go along. Okay, so I repeat the question: why do you think HR business partners are vital to be looked into in organizations?
Yeah, let us know your answers also. And come on, guys, bring on your questions because Darren has so much of experience, like I've already explained to you all, his vast experience that he brings with us today. So ask any questions that you all have. I see a
Correct.
lot of people on online watching this show. So thank you, everyone. Welcome. And if you haven't said hi to Darren, please do so. Say hi, Darren, everybody. Give him a hi, give him a thumbs up, give him a heart. And while I ask him the next question, Darren,
Yes.
how do HRBPs facilitate change within an organization? So this is a change question.
I would say we are like the connector, right? Because by virtue, HR should know everybody, even though we may not remember everybody's name, depending how big is your organization. So my point is, when we say drive change, right? So essentially, the word that comes to me is communication. A lot of times, I think communication is a main barrier for departments or teams to work with one another to drive certain changes. It's like, a lot of time people are for themselves, right? They have their own KPI, taking care of themselves. But if we say you want to drive change, a lot of times it's organization wide, or it involve more than one person or one team. So HR can be the connector, I would say, and also engagement. A lot of times, you can't just say one time, right? You want to drive change, right? Change management. You probably have to say it 50 times before it gels. So I think HR can help in that sense. And also we can be the mouthpiece for the business leaders, right? Because just hearing from the business leaders is one thing, but hearing from HR again, can reinforce that. At the end of the day, we should be more people-centric, right? So and by virtue, HR should know a little bit of psychology and communication skills. So hopefully that will help to let the message sink in better. Yep, that's my take.
Okay, I think quite an interesting take. We can always be the sounding, the loudspeaker for the organization, the mouthpiece to carry the message across to the organization. Well said, and no other people could do a better job compared to the HR team in drumming the change in an organization. We may not be the person who lead, but we may be the specific group that will support change continuously. Correct, Darren. Well said. Okay, let's look at our next question. This is a little bit challenging, Darren. So you better hold your seat. What role does HR business partner play in talent acquisition and management?
Yeah, the war for talent, right? So
Yeah.
so yeah, I think this is really critical, right? So I split this to two parts, right? So you say acquisition means we hire, and management is those internal. So let's talk about external first, right? So I think most company should have EVP, right? Employer value proposition. In short, it means what you can give to the employees, right? What employees can get from joining your company. So I think that has to be really well positioned and communicated. So which is employer branding. I think for big and medium-sized companies, it's easier, but maybe for smaller company, a lot more effort. Then again, anything is better than nothing, right? Because today the world, people will use internet to look you up. Even if they can't find a website, they might still want to find an IG account. I don't know. Or LinkedIn account, right? So yeah, so I think we need to leverage on all the platform. So different people use different communication channels. So HRBPs also need to attract people through different channels, right? People that you can attract in LinkedIn may differ from JobStreet or maybe differ from who you can find from Facebook advertisement. So that's our experience. So other than that, when we talk about building talent pipeline, right? So we can consider management training program, internship, apprenticeship. It's not always experience hire. We need to give the young people a chance. And internally, I would say a lot of times HR business partner would look at a bit like business, right? I know it's a touchy thing. We do look at people as whether revenue generating or non-revenue generating. So we may have an ideal composition of how many percent revenue generating or not. This is so that we can achieve the revenue or the profit that target that we want, right? So yeah, I think those are some of the skills that HRBP should have in managing talent, and also retention at the end of the day, right? Want to keep them, not just hire and hire. So yeah, so I think the onboarding, the whole experience. So we talk about employee experience, EX, right? So from the point of applying for the job, interview, offered job, first day, first 90 days, etc. So all the touch point is very important. So sounds like we're doing customer service also, right? So anyway, yeah, that's what HRBP need to do, in my
Mm.
opinion.
That's so true. I mean, you are the first phase of people that a new talent will come and meet anyway. So every touch point is so important. Otherwise, first day is bad already. The whole process will somehow in their mind, like I teach grooming, right? They say the 6 second rule. They can sum you up within the 6 seconds they walk into the organization. So yeah, every touch point is important. So and what intrigued me is you said Facebook advertisements for talents. Really, I know about
Past
LinkedIn.
company, yeah, in past company, you can post advertisement on Facebook. Of course, it's paid. Yeah, you
Mhm.
can. Yeah, so
Oh, job advertisements. Okay. I
yeah.
usually see product advertisement, service advertisement. I never came across job advertisement, but guys, that's something you can also do to find talents. So that's actually very good insight. Um, Darren, how do HR business partners contribute to the performance management?
So I would say it's quite similar to most HR business, HR folks, right?
Mm.
Again, it's the whole annual cycle. I think the goal setting, for HR practitioner, you would know by now, or people manager, the SMART, right? So I think that one everybody knows. But our role is to more like HRBP can add value to track and tie it back to the business goal, right? Meaning to say, we will be depending on the size of the company, we may not be able to audit everyone, but we do randomly pick some and see whether it makes sense, right? The financial goal, the profit, whether it's aligned, is correct, I mean, yeah, we can pull out a whole report and cross check as well. So those are some of the things, right? And making sure that we have all the components, not too biased, right? We have financial, customer, operational, and whatnot. We also drive check-ins. We constantly throughout the year we remind people manager to do check-ins because constant feedback is what everyone encourages. We don't want any surprises come year end. You didn't do a good job, that kind of thing. So the check-ins, whether informal, formal, so we also run trainings for people manager because sometimes some are new, right? So different company have slightly different processes. Yeah, and then the mid-year review, year-end review. But throughout the whole discussion, it's not just about performance, right? Also, it's about development. So it's always come hand in hand, right? So you probably want to ask the employee as well what they want to grow, right? What they want to learn, what they want to improve on. So for us, we facilitate that process. And during the performance evaluation or even discussion, we can also, to a certain extent, pull out the TNA, the training needs analysis, what they would like to have. So I would say mainly about that. And of course, the after the year-end appraisal, then of course is the reward time, right? The increment bonus, and also for poor performer, the certain intervention. That's what HRBP needs to do.
Okay, what would be the biggest challenge, Darren, that you face in managing performance as a business partner? In your experience, what do you think would be, is it the objective setting, or is it the mid-year review, or is it the year end, or is it linking it to reward? Which would be the biggest challenge when it comes to managing performance?
I would say a mixture. It depends on the organization and people. So when I say mixture, means sometimes you have managers who probably think that they can do a really good job in this, but in actual fact, maybe not. So there are some who I would say either not competent or do not want to carry out the tough conversation,
Yeah.
especially in managing the poor performers. We also have bias, right? Sometimes or over lenient or too strict evaluators. So we do have some of those that we need to manage.
Good. I would agree. I think one of the biggest would be actually managing difficult conversations at every junction. That's when the biasness comes in, and other issues will lead into performance management. It's literally about managing the conversation, and it becomes even more harder when it deals with difficult conversations. Would you agree with me, Shireen?
Definitely, in every level of the organization, whether HR or leaders, managers, it is the toughest part to deal with difficult conversations with the staff. But it has to be done because otherwise, everything gets swept under the carpet. Things will never be resolved. Then it will just get back to worse and it becomes cancer in your organization,
Agreed.
right? Yeah. So anyway, I've got a question for the audience. Actually, why are the audience pretty quiet today? I think Darren is
Okay.
explaining
Okay.
so well that it's unusually quiet. Eileen, you've got some questions. Ken, some questions. Everyone else who hasn't, Hannah, any questions? Anyone else who hasn't said hi to Darren, please do. But I've got a question for the audience. So if you can answer that, that would be great. Can you share an impact of human resource business partners in your personal organization? Share with us how they have impacted your organization. Uh, Put it in the comment section, and like I say, ask any questions that you might want to ask. It feels like suddenly our comment section is having a problem today, Ajit.
Yeah,
Usually,
I feel like that. We have a lot of comments.
Maybe I should spur them.
There's two things.
Ladies and
Either
gentlemen,
uh,
there's two things. Either we are having with Darren is just too good, or the comment section is having a bit of a problem. I think it's the first one. Darren is just simply phenomenal today.
amazing.
now let me say
Exactly.
something. Guys,
Yes,
this is a
yes.
safe place to ask question. Okay, I'm gonna give them the psychological safety. Just ask any question.
Yeah, correct.
Yes.
Don't PM later and ask Darren. After that, the rest of the audience don't learn together.
Maybe my LinkedIn message box now got a lot of message.
That's why lah. All going that side. No, put it here in this comment section, not Darren's PM, LinkedIn PM. Yeah, guys, ask any questions that's going to help you. We are back. Oh, okay. Hi, Gan. Welcome back.
Okay, good.
Oh, maybe
Okay,
the laptop issue. Okay.
let's
Go on.
move on. Shuri, next question.
Mm.
We have a series of questions more to ask. I'm sure the audience is waiting for Darren's response. Okay,
Yeah.
what challenges does HR business partner face in managing their role?
Okay, I wouldn't call it really like challenges. It's more like some issues lah. The hot topic I would say is like generational, right? Managing multi-generation workforce. So we just need to understand how baby boomers generally work, Gen Z, sometimes to a certain extent the lingo, how they behave. It's like, I mean, for example, right? Again, without prejudice, young people, please don't stone me, right? Maybe the younger one prefer texting than calling, right? I come from the calling generation. I'll pick up the phone and call. So that kind of thing. So we need to be a bit more understanding in that. So that's one. Number two is I would say maybe for HR business partner, I think I see a lot of room for us to understand the business better, to speak the business language, to be more attentive to what's happening around the business, whether it's competition, whether it's on the social economy, or even sometimes even political front, because it affects the business, right? So that that way you can create more credibility and respect from the business, so that, because we don't want to sound too technical, right? I mean, Ajit and I, we are both HR people. Sometimes we talk too HR technical thing, to the business. It's like we are talking jargons like lawyers lah. So I think we just need to make sense to them. I think that is very important, and also to be solution focused. A lot of times, root cause analysis, cost benefits analysis is one thing, but at the end of the day, they want a solution, they want an outcome, right? So I think so long as we continue to partner with them to solve their people issue and show them the outcome, what we can do, then we can continue to be a good HRBP.
Agreed. I would really concur to that. I think what Darren said was spot on, especially HR business partner. Just to share with you, Shireen, as business partners, what is the biggest challenge? Sometimes they come with a degree in human resources, But when they're supporting engineering department or operational department, they need to learn all that. They need to know that as well. So that becomes a bit of a challenge. It's not easy. Just imagine you learn something else, then you're supporting the business in a different manner, knowing the business, taking time to understand the business will always be a bit of a challenge, especially if we have newer HRs. So we always try to accommodate their learning, asking them to do partnering, asking them to do observation, be with the business and things like that. Really, what Darren said was spot on. It's about knowing the business because it's called business partnering. We partner with the business. So how is your office, Sherin? How is the business partnering happening in your place? Do you have business partners as well in Compass Mind?
No, we only have a HR. We are
HR.
lean and mean. I mean, not
No,
mean, but
actually, I'm sure your HR is also the business partner.
correct. They need to know every single not department's learning process, pain points, all the people things that they need to know. So yeah, you are actually right. And Darren, I like to let you also know, besides Ajit and you who are HR, I'm also HR. I'm a HR grad.
Oh,
It's just,
really?
yeah,
Somewhere,
UPM.
right? HR
Wow.
development. Right?
Yes,
Wow. Surprise,
correct.
surprise. See, I
And
know
the
you for so
reason
many years.
I
I
didn't
didn't even
go,
know.
yeah, and the reason I didn't get into the HR role per se, I mean, L&D is a HR role, but then I didn't get in because at point of interview, it was recession, and the jobs that they were giving me was retrenching people, which it doesn't bring, it doesn't jive with my value. So that's where I deviated and ended up in L&D. So yeah, I'm part of you guys.
Yay. Okay, we
Yeah.
have a question from Ken. Okay, since Darren is a seasonal HR business partner, how would you deal with people who always take MC, sick or seem no energy at work? Okay, this is a very common operational issue.
Okay, let me I think you can also add if you want. I think first of all, if people really sick, I mean, we shouldn't get them back to work, right? Let them rest and recuperate.
Yeah.
Then again, if it happens too frequently, I think it's important to be concerned, right? I mean, if you ask me, I would advise the person to go for more thorough checkup to understand really what exactly is the diagnosis, and of course whether the person is eventually fit to work. I mean, not for us to decide, more for the doctor. And also if eventually the person come back and we should have a chat to seek first to understand. That's what I always do. And maybe have the chat and find out from the person whether the person feel that he or she can continue to perform the job. At the end of the day, we enter into an employment contract for the employee to provide certain service to the company, and at the same time the company remunerate them, right? But if that cannot continue to happen, then eventually the contract cannot be sustained, right? I will put it that way. Ajit, you want to add anything?
Yeah, I think rightfully mentioned, we need to honor when they are sick. When they need to take medical, we need to allow them to take medical leaves and whatnot. But if it's done on an excessive basis, or we see a pattern where they could be misusing the MC, say for example, it's on a Friday or a Monday or one day before public holiday, one day after public holiday, then we see a pattern and we keep repeating, then it's rightful for the management to intervene, and business partners will then have a discussion with the employee to ask them what could, is it really an issue, or do any support in a different manner. Okay, my approach will be separately split into two. The first part would be I will use the humanitarian approach, ask them why are they doing it, and explain to them that this reflects very poorly on them and things like that, and it affects their performance as well. It's not about them, it's not about their image, it's about the organization performance, and about what you call collaborating with your other colleagues as well, because when they are not around, someone need to overlook and do their part as well. So I will come on that approach, but if it becomes excessive, then we will need to put on the other hat, where we start to discipline that employee. We need to start to have difficult conversations. We need to put them down. We need to really align. There have been moments where I have limited an employee only to take MC from specific clinic, because I do not want them to hop on and take from many clinics, not realizingly doctor will issue, thinking if they're the only MC, but you never know it's MC number 10. So there can be many interventions that HR business partner can do, but tactfully do it and do it with an honest heart to support the employee and also to manage organization performance. So I think that's how I would actually manage the excessively or wrongly taken MCs.
Sometimes people go on MCs also because they are demotivated and then
Yeah.
they just don't
Yeah.
feel like coming to you. That's a bit sad already. But
Correct.
you know what? We've got lots of questions coming in now.
Yes, I see one here very interesting.
Maybe it's working, the comment box.
Yes,
Suddenly the commenting is working. A senior
correct.
leader or a director suddenly got heart attack. It's part of succession planning. So I think probably the question is, what will we do? What will we do if suddenly one of our senior leaders or senior directors has a heart attack? So Darren, how would you manage this
Huh,
as a business partner?
that's a good question. Darren, you are muted.
We can't hear you, Darren. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Is it better now?
Yeah,
Yes, correct.
much better.
Okay. So normally, if it's a critical position, I mean, depending on the senior leader holding whether critical position, we should have identified a successor. But if you really don't have, then that means the succession planning wasn't done very well. Then you have to, either, there's some talent strategy to use, right? You either borrow it, right, from outside, a consultant, or I don't know, you can acquire from outside. Yeah, but to answer your question, yeah, the succession planning should be there. Like if it's a critical position, sometimes you have senior position that may not be critical. When we say may not be critical, means the impact, right? Whether it's financial, regulatory impact, means you have time to hire. Then it may not be a crisis.
All right. And then Nurhana also asked, how do you advise the employees that always say they want to
Want
resign?
to resign.
Azrul mentioned he gave his opinion too. He said, in my experience, those who always mention want to resign,
They are the one who will stay
actually
longer.
stay longer. Yeah. What's your thought on it, Darren?
I keep laughing already. Okay, this is purely my personal opinion, doesn't represent anyone or any company I work for. I would say, yeah, maybe what Azrul said makes sense, right? It's like I give an analogy, right? Your boyfriend, girlfriend, right? If they ever say, we break up lah, but never break up one. So actually they don't want to break up lah. But they do have something they want to tell you. They want you to address. So we need to find out how to dig out that one, right? Whether bring the person out for lunch, Don't allow this person to go and tell the whole world every day in the meeting, say want to resign, then it will spread the negativity. But take the person aside to a private room or go for lunch. Lunch better. A lot of things happen, conversation that happen during lunch. So do that, find out exactly what is the main issue that the person having and address that and, update the person, then that person should be fine, right? Because at the end of the day, if keep saying want to resign but never resign, it's either the person don't want to resign or I don't know, could be the person not good enough, cannot secure another job. Anyway, but my point is, yeah, you have some issue like that. I think the important thing is do not ignore the sign. Do not just think that the person is ranting because this is what I learned after many years, right? People wants to be heard. You just need to listen sometimes. Or maybe they just want to rant it out to you. Darren, no. Okay, after that they feel better because nobody wants to listen to them. So sometimes that's what HR do, like counseling as well.
There are two parts of a question. Sometimes they just want to rant and to be listened, heard, and sometimes they want to rant and they want a solution. So how would you know which is which as a HR?
Okay, so if I can link this to a different aspect, Ajit, you can add. In industrial relation or rather employee relation, we have grievance, right? Grievance means a grievance process. Employee have something not happy, complain about, they can come to HR. So I always do one thing. I always ask this question: what do you expect out of this conversation? You want to file a complaint? You tell me what's your end in mind, right? Then only I listen to you. So if you tell me, I just wanted you to know only, no need action, I just want you to know. Okay, fine, I will just listen. That manager is so terrible. No, I want him out. Then it's like I will explain to you, is that reasonable or not? Right? I mean, I will tell you what's the next thing I could do based on what you shared. So that we set realistic expectation. Because otherwise, if the person's end in mind is not met, he will still complain again. It will never be solved. And then he will escalate to other people and make more hoo-ha. And then, then we are not doing our job.
Agree. Maybe I want to add on. I think how I would manage such things, Shirin. If the first complaint or what, and the first time they rattle, I listen. Second time they rattle, I listen. And I give them I ask them to be positive, keep a positive mindset. The third time they rattle, I will show them to the grievance process. Here you go, the grievance process. So it comes to an end. I don't want them to keep rattling. So as business partners, as HR leaders, there's always a process. You say once, I understand. You say twice. The third time, you go to, you find an avenue, and then we see what we could do about it. If you are serious, or else then they get an idea, they will stop to rattle, I would say. Okay, we have another question, interesting one from Mei Yong Yi. How to deal or manage the toxic employees at workplace?
This question so serious, oh.
Yeah, suddenly,
Oh, yeah. Again, right? I don't know how we want to define toxic. What is toxic to you and what is toxic? I think, I suppose maybe if I reframe it, maybe it's a negative employee. I think containment is the strategy, right? What I mean containment is that you don't want the person to spread the toxicity or the negativity to others, lah. So, of course, at the end of the day, a lot of organization will eventually want to remove such people because it affects the harmony and the coherence within the team, right? Yeah, that's all I can say. Again, because I don't know too much details about your case. So as a HR business partner, we just have to be very sensitive, and we need to really monitor the person, engage the person, right? So that you get firsthand how to deal with it if something really bad happens. That's my take. Yeah.
All right, yeah. For toxic people, you actually need to go deep into the root cause of the problem. Then you give the best advice. So that's a great advice you gave, Darren. Yon Yi, I hope Yon Yi, I hope you got your answer. And now we've got another question from Fatin. And what's exciting is she's new in HRBP. She said previously I was in payroll team. How do you keep your passion in HRBP position? She is an introvert person. Sometimes being in HRBP makes me talk a lot and drains my social energy. So at the end of time, she's probably drained out. So how do you keep your passion, Darren? What's your best advice for her?
Really my why, right? You see, HR is a transferable skill. The fact that you see I move from different industry, right? So every time it excites me to learn new business. So that's how I keep my passion on. But more importantly is the satisfaction when you can provide the solution or add value, right? I always say HR is there to add value. I'm not here to add more problem to you, right? So when you have that satisfaction, it keeps you going. But I fully understand introverted people, you have your energy quota, right? At the end of the day, you talk business, talk to people, counseling, you will get drained. But maybe you might slowly change. If you know personality as well, it can change according to your job. Maybe your extroversion you slowly increase. So give yourself some time. Yeah, things will get better.
Yay.
Yeah,
Fatin?
maybe I would tell Fatin what you can do is focus on what you call valuable conversations instead of talking about everything under the sun. Keep it business related. Then select the conversation that you want to have. That will probably help you in saving a little bit of your energy. Instead of entertaining everything, select. I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about this. That probably will help you at the beginning.
Yeah, Fatin tried and let us know how that goes. We would love
Shereen,
to
I
hear.
noticed Nohana added on to explain that they are top performer, the people who wants to resign, I think. Who keeps
Okay.
saying
Yeah.
Yeah.
But normally top performers don't do that. But if they are top performers, then you are in deep shit. Then you think something is very wrong, then you should take a serious look into it.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway, we've got a few more questions before we come to the end of the show.
Yeah.
Darren, how do HRBPs drive innovation within an organization?
being conscious of time, I'm just gonna give a bit shorter answer, right? So again, I think we need to create a safe environment, right? For people to give suggestions or feedback. It can be an idea box, it can be surveys. Yeah, I think the main thing is also to recognize. Some people they suggest something they want to be recognized, some wants to be incentivized, but some like what Shereen said, they just want to see actions, right? So make sure those are done. Otherwise, nobody wants to contribute anymore, lah, because talk only no action, right? So yeah. I think that's about it.
Okay, good. We have another question from Muhammad Azrul. Okay, but before that, Darren said the right thing. Allow people to give their ideas, their feedback, make it a safe environment to speak. Like how we are today, it's a safe environment to ask questions. Very good. We have a question from Muhammad Azrul. We When we talk about business partners, what are the expectations?
Right? If you manage to help the business to be successful, you are successful, right? So I would say it's as simple as that. The expectation is we are there to drive people agenda and solve the people issue, not all by ourselves, right? But together with the business. But we need to be the one who think, to propose, to analyze, and maybe eventually do most part of the work. But we need to get the buy-in from the leaders to say, okay, great, okay, Darren, team, okay, go with your suggestion. That sounds good. Let me know the update, the outcome.
Brief, simple, and nice. Great answer, Darren. There's another question from Sweating. It's a very good question. My company does not have a HRBP model yet, but we're thinking to have one. In your opinion, for a starter, what are some considerations for the current team who is looking to expand the team based on current people resources and capacity so that we can distinguish between HRBP and functional teams within HR?
So I'll put it this way. A lot of times, a lot of people would consider HR generalists like HR business partner, right? Then, of course, in bigger organization or medium size, they also have the COE, the Center of Excellence, which is the specialist in OD, L&D, IR, industrial relations, so on and so forth. My point is, if you ask me, anyone can be a HRBP, right? Yeah, so long as they are able to carry out their consultative mode. You need to have some general understanding about all the HR domains, right? Whether it's recruitment or industrial relation, employment act, all that, because you are a consultant, right? You cannot just simply say something, right? So those knowledge can acquire. So there are recruiters who eventually become HRBP, payroll, like one of our audience here. So it can be anyone. So I think the more important thing is the person really want to desire to be a consultant, because it's very different if you suddenly from operational HR to become a HRBP, because then you keep talking about processes to your leaders. That may not work, because to the leaders, processes is one thing. They are talking about, the bigger picture. They want the bigger picture end in mind. So a lot of times, processes is the last thing we want to talk about, because solving business problem, you need creativity. You cannot just have the straight line method. So we need the options A and B. So that's what HR business partner need to come in and say, look, okay, we have been doing it this way. Okay, we have analyzed. Maybe we can do B and C, right? Which one would you prefer? Something like that.
Yeah. And there are more questions coming in. One more. We're already at 1:57, so we'll take the last question. But bring your questions in, because Darren can always answer post HRTV session also. So Muhammad Hafizuddin, thanks for your question. What methods do you use to track and analyze HR metrics and KPIs, Darren?
So Shirin, is this the part where I say, Hafizuddin, buy my book, Excel for HR?
Because you can use Excel to do all this analysis.
Yeah. So Hafizuddin, I wrote a book, I co-authored a book, right? Talking about all the 12 chapters on HR life cycle and some of the metrics and illustration graphs and all that you can use to track your HR metrics. Yeah, check it out later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys need the book, just connect with me, Ajit, or Darren.
Yeah.
All of us can arrange the book for you. All right.
Worth investing. Trust me, worth investing. Okay, we have approached the hour of the day now. We need to, we need to end the session. I know the audience are like so eager. Suddenly, out of nowhere, Shirin, so many questions came in like a waterfall. Question coming in. Darren also like, oh my God, so many, overwhelmed. But Darren, this is how the show goes. Suddenly out of the blue, you get all the attention. Okay, we have approached the end of our session, and we would like to thank Darren Low for actually being with us today for this insightful session and for this meaningful and serious discussion with us today. Thank you so much. Before we end, is there any way that the audience could reach out to you in the event if they have any questions moving forward, or if they want to link up with you? Is there any way they could connect to you?
Thanks for asking that, Ajit. So I use LinkedIn daily, so you can connect with me on LinkedIn, Darren Low. So yeah, just send me a request, drop me a message, and say you saw me on HRTV. That will make me remember you better. And yeah, if you have questions, text me over there. Yeah, if you want to order my book, there's a link on my bio there to pre-order with discounted rate for now.
Perfect. That was an amazing session today, Darren. Thank you so much. It doesn't feel like an hour has passed. I just feel like we just got started, and looking at the clock, we only have like 1 minute left. Okay, thanks again, Darren, for joining us today. Thank you very much. Catch up with you soon again.
Great. Thanks, Ajit. Thanks, Shireen. Thanks, everyone, for joining.
Thank you. But before we end, once again, we would like to wish all of you Selamat Hari Raya Aidilfitri. If you are HR and L&D and planning your trainings, drop me an email at training@compassmind.com. Well, may you guys enjoy the exciting moment celebrating Hari Raya with your family and friends. We look forward to seeing all of you once again in our next episode, which will be episode 5. So thanks for watching HR Intervention. Remember, serious discussions only.
Bye.